The state government has lost yet another MP. Dr Chris Davis has decided to end a short and tumultuous political career rather than accept changes to Queensland electoral donation laws. Only a week earlier he was sensationally dumped as the Assistant Minister for Health after publicly criticising the government's stance on doctors' contracts and its changes to the Crime and Misconduct Commission. Now he's quit as the member for Stafford, forcing what could be another bruising by-election for the Premier, and just 10 months until the next state election is due. He joined me in the studio a short time ago. Chris Davis, why did you resign?
I thought last night, when we passed the electoral changes, the funding changes in the electoral bill, that what we were doing was actually a very significant risk to our democracy here in Queensland, particularly with our legacy and also the absence of an upper house. And the evidence clearly at an academic level, very well researched by Macquarie University in this case, was that there was no public good that actually came from corporate donations.
So it's not just the electoral laws though, you've also been on the opposite side of the fence on doctors' contracts, the changes to the CMC. Was this just the straw that broke the camel's back?
Well, it very much was so, but it was also the fact that despite a indication that there would be great tolerance, of being able to prosecute an argument like that, and I felt particularly encouraged by making the point when you have got people like Premier Beard in New South Wales and a lot of eminent politicians who've expressed concerns about this. So, I would have hoped that there was actually much more tolerance of that view. And
the Premier said when he sacked you as Assistant Health Minister that you're released.
Indeed,
you have far more scope.
So I'd really done my homework. I'd given the whole matter extremely careful consideration. I had spoken with the Attorney General. He and I had a significant discussion that, do you want to stay a member of the LNP? Sorry,
can we back it up a little bit there? You were actually considering crossing the floor?
Well, more than considering crossing the floor, I'd actually, during the dinner break, I'd spoken to one of the parliamentary clerks and actually had the process entirely there. I had all the paperwork ready to go, and when I actually followed due process, received this response. And so I thought...
What response was that you received? Who did you approach, what did you say, and what was the response?
In the interests of privacy, you'll just have to accept that that was the feedback I got.
Because the Premier has been on the record today saying that, and I'll quote, "The LNP is a team that permits people that right to cross the floor if they so wish, and he could have done that last night, by the way." And someone asked, was there any interference to him voting against any of the amendments yesterday? And the Premier replied, not at all.
Well, certainly, as I say, there was no facilitation, no encouragement, no tolerance even. And also, after I'd given my speech, there was no, I guess, enthusiasm expressed by any of my LNP colleagues for the view, even though, as I say, I was quoting very eminent Conservative politicians in the process. The people of Stafford have clearly indicated a particular style of representation, and I think it's going to offer them an opportunity to look again where they can best get that. You get a gut feel sometimes in life that it's time to just move on and allow essentially a review of the process, and that meant me getting out of the way.
Will you run as an independent? I
joined the LNP to really allow us to perform better as a society, looking at all the challenges in health and payroll issues and so on. So that was what I hoped to bring in to Parliament, and so to be there without a vehicle is really not something that I would want to do.
All right, Chris Davis, thanks for being on 7:30 Queensland.
Thank you, Matt.